Break the Ice podcast is presented by Superfood. If you have a high-performance team that needs fueling, check out mysuperfd.com for more information. Hey everyone, Mike Vogel here with another edition of Break the Ice. Producer extraordinaire Zach Garrett behind the cameras, and joined this time by Ryan Leonard. Back for your second development camp, Ryan. And last year at this time, coming off the whirlwind of being the 8th overall pick in the 2023 NHL draft. What's it like for you to just walk back into this facility and feel like you're a quote-unquote veteran of 1 year of this and getting a look at the next draft class, the 2024 crew?
Yeah, I don't know if I definitely call myself a veteran right just yet, but yeah, it's pretty cool to be back here and hopefully one day call this place home for a while. It's great to see all familiar faces and build better relationships with more people.
What's this period of your career like? Because you go from, in this 1 year period of time that we're talking about, you go from the development program to the campus of Boston College, and you've got this involvement with the Capitals who've drafted you. I'm just guessing you're getting... There's so many coaches that are getting into your ear, and what's this like for you as your development's going on and you're bridging the jump from the development program to the NCAA and eyeing the next jump that's year 2, 3 down the road.
Yeah, obviously I've tried to stay in touch with the Caps as much as I can. At the start of the year, we were talking a bit more frequently than I thought I would be, so it took a little bit of an adjustment for that to really kick in, but everyone wants the best for you and everyone wants your team to win. So if I'm talking with Coach Brown, it's anything I can help my BC team to win, and if I'm talking to the development team here, it's whatever they think I can do better that will transfer to the next level.
I know when you were here last year, and actually I think it was on that little card that they have, I think Central Scouting has you fill out during your draft year, where you kind of do a self-evaluation of your skills. And the one thing that you mentioned on there was your play away from the puck. Mm-hmm. What goes into trying to improve that? Because it seems like, honestly, that the rest of your game is pretty well-rounded, and even I don't think that's a real detriment.
Yeah,
to
no,
your
I
game.
think I've excelled in that a lot this year. Going into college, it's Every step you take, it's getting bigger, faster, and stronger guys that you play against every single night. So this year it took a little bit of a pause at the start of the year to really get going. But once you get a little bit more comfortable and ready to go, that's when your skill takes over and your confidence goes through the roof and you start to become the player you actually are.
I think I counted 5 games that you didn't have a point last year. So I would say you had a pretty strong rookie season. I think you set the record for freshmen goals at BC. When you look back on this year, what was that adjustment? Because I know, when you're at the development program and you're finishing out your high school career, I think you guys a lot of that was kind of online and mm-hmm. whatnot.
Yeah.
What has the campus experience been like, and the balance between school and athlete, being an athlete?
Honestly, it's everything you can ask for and more. The whole student body there is amazing. Yeah. I can't speak high enough about them. Whether you're playing a team that's in the bottom of Hockey East or we're playing BU, everyone's saying good luck. They know we're playing that weekend. They're gonna be there early. They're gonna get in line. They're gonna wear school spirit. They're gonna be excited the whole week. It's just really cool to be around that. But at the start of the year, it was nice that the season doesn't start right away. You kind of get a balance of how to really manage your time, homework, classes, writing papers, all that. But yeah, the student athlete really speaks for itself. Honestly, you gotta stay eligible to play, but honestly, you don't want to just be at the bare minimum. You want to excel in both. But yeah, it took a little bit for time to get used to the actual student athlete, but once you get it rolling, it's pretty easy.
Growing up in Massachusetts and playing youth hockey there, and obviously you're going to have a ton of kids at BC that have had that similar experience. And now getting into, I guess probably once you get to the development program, now you're starting to meet kids from Michigan, Minnesota, some of the other big hockey areas around the country. What's that like to sort of compare notes with those kids and see how their development has gone? And
Yeah, honestly, you go in there, everyone kind of thinks they deserve a spot that necessarily they haven't earned yet, but they think their just name should show up on the first line. But right when you get there, it's competitive. Obviously, you have all the best talent there, but who's going to really want it more and kind of push themselves to get to the next level and become one of the best at the next level, and so on and so on. So it's pretty cool to get there and see how you rank against other guys in the state. But as you get older, you got to start to try to take people's jobs, and that's when you really become a professional athlete.
you're in a unique position too, as you were bridging that gap from the development program to BC, where you essentially got the same two line mates.
Yeah.
And you guys are all playing together from one level to the next.
Mm-hmm.
How much do you feel like that helped all three of you guys?
Yeah, like we talked about earlier, a little bit of a slow start at the start of the year. Puck wasn't really going in for us. We were honestly getting a little frustrated because last year all of our point productions was pretty good. So, yeah, but it was really comfortable knowing the players you're playing with have the same type of mindset that you have. But in order for that to happen, the rest of the team's also got to click. So we're just trying to do our best to help the team win every night.
And what's it like for your last year at the development program? Cole Hudson's one of your teammates. You walk in here this week, Cole Hudson's one of your teammates with the Capitals, but come this fall, you guys are going to be adversaries. What's that whole dynamic going to be like? Do you think?
No, he's a special player.
Sure is.
He's very fun to play with. Haven't played against him quite yet. And at the end of the camp, we'll play against him in 3-on-3. So see how tough that actually gets. But yeah, it's going to be fun.
You got three siblings, I think, two sisters.
Correct.
And a brother.
Correct.
They all older?
Yes.
You're the youngest.
Yes.
I know your brother John has got to be an inspiration to you, having gone through the draft in 2018, going to San Jose and playing in the NHL. Your sisters play volleyball, or at least one of them?
They both played basketball.
Oh, right, okay. So you're born into a family of athletes, and you're the youngest. Do you feel like that's where you're? To me, one of the things that stands out about you is just your uber competitiveness. Do you think that comes from being the youngest sibling in a family of athletes?
Yeah, coming up with a lot of stories for a long time now, just getting picked on by my older brother. I don't really think my sisters really did too much, honestly, of picking on me, but my brother's been a very huge part of my success that goes unnoticed. He pushed me every single day in the basement. He would make me do stuff I didn't want to do just to be that big, annoying older brother. Not necessarily all bad things, but all things out of love, and they've paid off for me for sure.
What goes into the decision at the end of this last season and at the end of next season as to when you jump into your pro career? I mean, it's a real balance. I mean, you want to have that college experience, and education is absolutely an important thing, but you've also got that short window to have a career, because unfortunately athletes, your skills don't last until you're 70, 80 years old.
I just talked about this outside actually. During when that time, it was time to come to a decision. Obviously, I talked to all the people around me who I love and support, and they support me. But my brother and I talked on the night. We talked with the whole organization, and we made a giant pros and cons list of both sides, which was honestly the best thing for me. We made it. Probably took us an hour, and then I told him, all right. I need a little bit of a break. I need to just relax, go on my phone, act like a kid again, see what happens, and then talk to my agent the next morning, my parents, and then him one more time, and it was tough. Honestly, I think I know I've made the right decision, and I know the people around me are happy what I did and happy I'm going back to school. But I'm going back for a couple reasons, and one of them is for sure to get back to that title game and win it this time, and get myself a little bit closer to graduating. I think that's a big part of it, and I've always, especially BC, a top end school like that. Obviously, life after hockey is pretty important to me, and I just want to have that degree in my hand to kind of show I'm not just an athlete.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a mature outlook too.
Yeah.
When you did you watch the draft this year?
I paid attention to it. I was actually at the Red Sox game.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with that either.
Yeah.
What about Stanley Cup playoffs?
Yep.
Follow those through. Who were you pulling for?
Once it got to the finals, I was pretty confused, honestly, who to really root for. Obviously, I think McDavid deserves deserves a cup, just because who he is and what type of name he's building around himself. But I can't say I didn't want Florida to win, getting there 2 years in a row, and losing 2 times would be pretty tough. But after Edmonton won those 2 games, 4 and 5, I really didn't know what was gonna happen. I had no clue what was gonna happen in Game 7. I knew they were gonna win Game 6, but Game 7 was a toss-up to me.
It was a great night of hockey watching that one, and the Calder Cup as well.
Yeah.
That
was a very fun game to watch too.
When you look ahead and you see, say a guy like Tarek Parasak, you think at all about someday you guys being the top 6 right wings on this team here in Washington?
Yeah, that's pretty cool to think about that, but obviously you don't want to jump the gun too far. There's a lot of growth that both of us can make in order to achieve those goals. That's his first year here, so obviously you want him to get comfortable. Obviously, if the organization's picking him that high, they know he's a player that they want to trust and be with for a good amount of time. But haven't really seen him too much, honestly. We haven't really. I mean, I've seen him in that we just did a skate, but it's not really. You can really see the whole type of player. Seeing his highlights, he looks unbelievable player. Has a great scoring touch, so it's gonna be fun to watch for sure.
How much attention do you pay to the Caps day in and day out, ups and downs over this last season?
Honestly, went in spurts. Not really watching every single game, but it's pretty hard to do. But you definitely catch the important ones, and then at the end of the year, when I knew I had to make a decision, I knew I had to watch those games pretty carefully. And once I won that last game, it got real really fast. So
that Boston College, and I don't mean Boston College, but that Boston collegiate atmosphere with the Beanpot. What was that first Beanpot experience like? You hear about it, you grow up near it, but then playing in it, what was that like?
So I think we played BU twice before that, and we beat them at our place Friday, beat them at their place Saturday, and we were like, oh wow, this is gonna be real tough to do. We didn't really necessarily play our best in the first period, and then we were playing catch-up, and the third, I don't think we've ever played a better period, honestly, without scoring as many goals as we needed to tie the game. But we made a great push, but the Beanpot speaks for itself. It's some people say winning that is more important to winning a national championship to your Boston school, just so you have a little bit of upper hand on the other Boston schools. But it's really fun. Your whole school goes. Public transportation's packed that whole night. It was really fun though.
And what was the World Junior experience like this past season for you?
That was awesome too. Obviously, we didn't really get to play in the bigger atmosphere at the start. We took a couple scooters from our hotel to go see some of those games. We watched a couple of the guys watched the Canada versus Sweden game, and that was pretty cool just to see both sides collab and create an amazing atmosphere. But it was really cool to get there at the end, though, for sure.
How much do you enjoy playing representing your country and playing internationally. So I think it was you and Will Smith invited over to Europe for the Worlds this year. What did you go, and what was that experience like too?
I did go. Honestly, there's no better feeling than wearing your country's colors and being able to represent it. Guys and girls do it for us, and they're armed. They put their bodies on the line, and we just go over there and play the sport we love. So enough credit goes to them. They make our country what it is. But yeah, you never know the last time you're really going to put on that USA sweater, so you really can't take any time for granted. But then, as you said, me and Will went over to Europe to represent the U.S. again with the men's world's team, and we were lucky enough to be around a lot of high-end professional athletes. So it was really cool to soak all that in and be around those top-end guys and make relationships that hopefully last a long way.
And when you see things like the Four Nations tournament next year, and World Cup of Hockey, obviously Olympics, do you dream of participating in those things as much as you dream of reaching the NHL?
I think the Olympics is definitely on my bucket list for sure. Watching that growing up, you see how competitive it is. You see the atmospheres they play in, and not only the atmospheres, but you're representing your country again at the highest level for your international play. So, it's going to be fun to watch next year and see what type of guys go, all the top-end guys that go, and those games are going to be really competitive and fun to watch for sure.
You mentioned one of your goals for the season ahead, obviously, is to win that last game at the end of the Frozen Four. Anything else along the way?
4 trophies. We want to win the Beanpot, Hockey East regular season, Hockey East finals, and national championship. We had that talk at the start of the year to get the program back to where we think it should have been. We had to win those 4, and we're 50% or 75%. So just one short.
How's it looking for you guys with the recruiting class that's coming in, and with the attrition that you're going to suffer, like with Will going to San Jose?
I'm really confident in the team that we have coming in, that we're going to go really far and do great things. We have a couple good guys that just got drafted. One first-rounder, Leonard, who went to Boston. Haven't met him yet. He's a pretty big guy, so it'll be fun to see him. And then we have a couple other guys, Stiga, Skahan, Michael Higgins, James Higgins, maybe 1 or 2 more that I'm not really thinking of right now. But, we're going to be really good for sure.
Is it exciting for you to jump into the TD Garden and see the Caps when they come into town?
Yeah.
I think I saw you there preseason and
I went
late
to
in the season
both of the games.
Yeah.
Really fun to be there, and I've never played in TD Garden before this year in the Beanpot, and that Beanpot game was a wake-up call to what TD Garden is. So it was pretty cool, and then obviously hopefully one day being able to play there, being close to home, and a lot of family being able to show up. It was really cool.
That questionnaire that I mentioned earlier, you mentioned as your comparable NHL player, Matthew Tkachuk. How do you feel like? How did you land on Matthew Tkachuk as the most comparable NHL player to your style?
I don't really know, honestly. I couldn't really come up with too many. So my head coach last year, Dan Muse, kind of came up with a couple and talked about Matthew Tkachuk, Zach Hyman, Tom Wilson, just all competitive guys that really have a scoring touch, but
go to the net.
Yeah, really could play both sides of the puck very well, play penalty kill, and then being guys that the team can rely on to close out a game when it's tight.
Growing up, were you a Bruins fan?
Yeah.
And which players did you like watching?
I loved watching Lucic. I think just what he did. Well, Sean Thornton was always. I like the fighters, and then I liked Bergeron, Chara. I loved watching Tim Thomas as a kid. Honestly, when they won, that was some of the best hockey he's ever played, and I wish I was able to play against him just to see what it was like. But yeah, he was a fun goalie to watch for sure. He made the game interesting.
And you mentioned you were at Fenway last Friday to see the Red Sox. Bunch of guys going, I guess, to see the Nats. And
yeah, me and Ryan Chesley are going tonight, and
nice.
meeting my cousin there and a couple coworkers.
Very fun, cool. What else is on your agenda for the summer after camp's done here?
Let's see. I'm going home. Oh, I actually have the club championship next weekend for my golf club, so I've been training good amount.
Got a handicap?
Yeah, I'm a 1.
Wow.
So it's tough this year. It's tough this year to crack, honestly. It's a Saturday Sunday event. Saturday morning, I don't know when it starts yet. The tee times haven't came out yet, but you play in the morning. You play 18, and then all the guys play. And then the top 8 make the championships division, and that's the best division. That's the highest. And then the next 8 make Division 1, and then every other guy gets sent home. And then it's all match play.
Yeah.
It's not stroke play. So, a little bit more opportunity to win a couple holes, and then I'm working a summer camp that my brother runs for the organization that we grew up playing in.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, and then I'll probably go down to Maine for a couple days with my girlfriend's family. They have a house down there, so.
What part of Maine?
York.
Yeah, okay. That's is that like in the south? That's not far from Portland, if I remember.
No. Not far at all.
Yeah.
Not far at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we go up there occasionally too. The Sunday River is a good spot in the summertime because it's like an abandoned ski resort, and you don't see other humans for the whole week. We like renting a house up in that area.
Yeah.
So it's a great place to be. Well, Ryan, appreciate you taking the time to break bread with us here, and looking forward to your season, and really looking forward to your career as well. So all the best to you in 24-25, and I guess we'll see you a couple of times when we're up there in Boston. But very cool. Appreciate your time and your insight here today.
Yeah, thank you.
Superfood Performance Nutrition fuels the Washington Capitals players and staff on and off the ice. Each bite is energy-packed, highly nutritious, and engineered to boost recovery time. When they're not feeding pro athletes, Superfood is bringing the same high-quality nutrition to offices nationwide through their flagship corporate meal program, Simply Lunch. So if you have a high-performance team that needs fueling, check out mysuperfd.com for more information.